All right, so now let's talk about the 4 features that Localine has to increase retention. We're going to talk about coupon codes, subscriptions, abandoned cart price lists, and then we're going to talk about price list schedules. Okay, so the first one is coupon codes. There's a few ways that you can do this. We've seen folks set up an early purchase incentive to lock in customers for next season. And there's a fine line between, hey, I'm not going to be harvesting till April of next year. Why don't you pay me now? I mean, you're more than welcome to try, but that's a long way out. But we have seen customers start to accept deposits, call it in, November, December, January for the upcoming season. And so what you can do is just create these early bird specials using Localine. And what this does is it takes the time risk off the table. There's a saying in sales that time kills all deals. And so what you want to do is you want to remove the amount of time that your customer has to decide whether or not they want to buy from you again next year. You want to allow them to mentally check that box and say, yeah, I'm committed and I've made my deposit or my purchase or my incentive, whatever it is. So anyway, coupon code is a great way to do that. Another one that we've seen done successfully is offering customers a discount if they reach a certain spending limit. The whole concept here is okay, what you want to do is you want to go analyze your customers, and what you might figure out is you know what? I've got a whole bunch of customers that spend $900 a year with me. They're just not quite breaking through that $1,000 threshold. You can create a coupon code that gives them an incentive, a discount. It gives them a bundle, an extra product, something that gets included when they surpass $1,000. And so it's that extra little, it's just the incentive just to reach just one notch higher on the ladder and help kick them over whatever the sort of, spending threshold is that you define that is the most appropriate, I guess, I don't know, sort of range for, what an average customer spends with you. And then there's a common one. It's remember, you go to your sandwich shop and you get a sandwich and then they give you a little card and they stamp it, and on the 10th one you go in and you get it free. This is the digital version of that. So you can also incentivize repeat purchases instead of just total amount spent. The total amount spent is better because, again, that goes back to the revenue. That's what pays bills. Versus just the number of times. Like if someone comes in and orders $5 every time, you might be less inclined to give them an incentive, but you can also run coupon codes like that. Awesome. Moving on to subscriptions. This is a set it and forget it feature. And it's not just a set it and forget it feature for you. It's a set it and forget it feature for customers, right? If it's and I'm saying things that but if it's spring and the kids are out of school soon and I'm sitting there and I'm dealing with planning camps and planning excursions and planning whatever the heck else it is that I need to do with my summer, the ability for me to just say, look, my produce is covered or my meat is covered or whatever it is, I can set it and forget it and get it out of my mind creates a lot of peace of mind for your customer. And as a result, it's a great way to lock in retention. Customers are more likely to stick with you if they can find a frequency that works for them and a set of products that works for them. And it gives them the ability to just set it and forget it. It's one more thing off of their to-do list. I want to make a note as well that this isn't subscriptions isn't just for CSAs. We do have a good number of flexible CSAs that use the Localine subscriptions feature, but it can also just be for a recurring order, right? Sometimes families just use a lot of ground beef. They use it for burgers and they use it for tacos and they use it for meatloaf and they use it for, whatever else you use ground beef for, right? Meatballs. And sometimes it can just be a recurring order on a product. It doesn't need to be some box or some CSA or some buy down thing or something that has a fixed start and end date, which is the last point. You can let it run forever. You don't have to set expiries on these things. All right, this is a new one for Localine. This is a couple weeks new, and so we launched these abandoned cart emails, and you got to get the abandoned cart emails right. We've got 2 of them. One, and the screens might be a little small, so I apologize for that. But in your settings in Localine, there is an email for the abandoned cart, which triggers once a customer has left their cart for more than 2 hours and they haven't actually checked out. Sends an automatic email for them that looks like this, that says, hey, we saved your cart for you. It's right here. So click to complete your order. There's also one for at the bottom, if you can see, the fulfillment cutoff date, which means that if your customer has products in their cart our system will send them an email reminding them to place their order before your order cutoff time, whatever that happens to be. So if you need 1 or 2 days notice to place your order, it will send the customer an email reminding them to place it for that cycle so that they don't miss out. Now, of the farms that have turned this on, the local line customers that have turned this on, they are generating an extra $653 a month from what they were before. So for that cohort of customers, say it was 10 farms that were using local line before this feature, and then they all started using it after this feature. In the month that we've had this live, they've generated an extra $653 a month, and it's accelerating. It's actually not slowing down. It's accelerating as more of their customers get used to getting those emails and getting back in. It's a great way to re-engage less active customers. And it's another set it and forget it, right? All you guys have to do, you get into your local line account, you turn it on, and you just let them run. The last one that we'll talk about that already exists in local line, the way that the price list schedules work is that it's a feature that automatically emails your customers on a cadence that you set. So if most of your customers order weekly, you would set it as to be weekly. You could set it to be, monthly, whatever it is that you wanted to do. And normally the purpose is to send the updated price list. So you can see in the screenshot, in this case, the message to your customers says, "Hello, loyal customers. Please find below a link to our updated weekly product list. This week features fresh strawberries, blueberries, and peaches. Order them quickly. They won't last long." So as your inventory changes, this is a great way to just be in the inbox of your customer and have them one click to your storefront, which again is a great way to just, sometimes they don't take the initiative without a little help. And so this is a nice way, turn it on, it recurs automatically. And it's that extra little helping hand sometimes that they need to remind them, "Oh yeah, thanks for that email," boom, click. And then they're in on their phone and they can go and place an order. I do find that there's a time for fancy newsletters and then there's a time for what I call simplicity. But the goal of the price list email is to get an order. It's not necessarily what the goal of a newsletter might be, which might be some form of marketing or some form of branding, showing off photos, maybe a video, show the cow, show the new fencing that went in, highlight the farm dog, talk about the U-pick and the new market that you're going to be at next week. They can get busy. They can get busy. And I think you only have your customer's attention for so long. If you're trying to throw 4 or 5 or 6 different pieces of information at them, the likelihood that on that email they just say, get to the order and click is less, right? And so the thinking is it's an opportunity to just have a focused ability to get into your customer's inbox with one task, which is, hey, we have new products. They are one click away. Click here and, place your order.